Trail talk time. Out on another wonderful trail. Nice sunny day again. Bit of clouds. Got the birds chirping all around me. And we feeling good. Now today I wanted to talk about hip hop. For those who are unfamiliar about more of the history behind it and the cultural significance, because I feel like many people just pretty much know what hip hop is based on rap music, and that's just one element of hip hop as an entire culture. So I want to take it back to the early 70s when there was a lot of gang violence and stuff going on. And in New York, in the Bronx, there was a gang called the Black Spades, and essentially the leader, Kevin Donovan, he played a huge role in creating hip-hop as a culture today. You know, he started to realize that all of this competition between all of these gangs that was happening was just senseless, right? And so, from my understanding, he wanted to make a difference, and he traveled to Afrika and he began to learn from, Zulu chiefs about what he can do to really start to unify all of these gangs, unify his people, so that they can put their energy towards something more beneficial. And so he came back with this movement, and they originally just started being called the organization, but they would organize and get together to plan positive things instead of, competing against each other in violent ways. And he was pushing these 4 key principles of hip hop, which is the foundation of it all, which is peace, love, unity, having fun. And with these 4 key principles, everything else can be built on top of it. And we see how powerful that is to stem everything from this, right? Starting with that peace, to end the violence, the senseless violence against each other, and the love, to see each other as one, that unity, see each other as brothers and sisters, and having fun, enjoying your life, enjoying what you're doing. And a lot of the information that I've learned from hip hop, I've learned from KRS-One. He's an amazing MC and an incredible teacher. That's one of his nicknames, the teacher. His name means knowledge reigning supreme over nearly everyone. And this man is just a wellspring of knowledge, especially about hip hop. And he breaks down the term hip hop. And he has a song called Hip Hop Lives. And a few of the lines he goes, hip is to know, it's a form of intelligence. To be hip is to be update and relevant. Hop is a form of movement. You can't just observe a hop, you gotta hop up and do it. So he's breaking down the term hip hop as intelligent movement or relevant movement. And so that intelligence, being hip, we start off at the knowing, right? That knowledge. And what is the most important form of knowledge? It is to know who you are, know thyself, right? And so this is what hip hop is about. It's about coming to the realization of who you really are, who you truly are, and then expressing yourself, right? Hop to move in that way as your true self, and to express that, and to express yourself freely and confidently, you know? Confidence plays a key role in what hip-hop is all about, you know, because all of these gangs and stuff came about because essentially black people and, you know, Latinos and stuff, they were obviously segregated, okay, and it takes a long time for that stain to wash off. And, you know, poverty and disenfranchisement can cause all of this rampant gang violence. But instead of allowing it to continue in that way, not that there isn't still a huge gang problem today, but this beautiful movement was started by just a shift in the mindset, right? A realization, like, what are we really doing here? And KRS tells a story about, you know, two guys sitting on a step. One guy turns to the other. He's like, yo, check this out. I keep on bringing and rapping and singing and killing it, feeling it. And he's doing this rhyme, right? And he looks at his man. His man goes, yo, that shit was whack. That was corny. He goes, puts his head down, and they both remain sitting there on the step, broke. But then there's another story. His man turns to him and goes, yo, check this out. I keep on bringing and singing until your ears is ringing and feeling it, killing this rhyme. He looks to his friend. His friend goes, yo, that was crazy. Yo, everybody's got to hear this. Whoa, do that again. Right? Bigging up his man. And that's a huge difference. Right? Bringing each other up, having that sense of community, and really starting from within, right? Seeing your value, right? In your simple expression, instead of thinking, oh, that was whack, that's not worth anything. It's that mindset that that's worth something amazing. Everyone's got to hear this, right? You've got a gift, you've got a talent, you've got gold within you, right? That's what hip-hop is about, realizing the gold within you that you are, your true worth, your true value, and sharing that with the world, sharing that with those around you. And all of a sudden, they started to realize that they actually weren't as broke as they thought, right? They had all the gold within themselves. They started to raise their own value and realize that they weren't lacking anything anymore, right? They began to now use what they had in order to really create more, instead of, you know, KRS uses that example of, like, instead of going up to the system and knocking on their door saying, let us in, we want to be part of your system, and they keep on getting rejected. As opposed to doing that, they say, you know what, we don't want to be part of your system anymore. We're going to create our own life. We're going to create our own system, our own way of being. We don't need you. We don't need to look to you for our power, right? And they started to give themselves the power that they were looking for. And it's such a beautiful thing. You know, looking within and finding everything that you need, seeing how you already have more than enough. And that, to me, is just the most inspiring thing. I mean, hip-hop is so incredible. It's just started from these little tiny seeds that started to sprout and grow. And all of a sudden these gangs started to put their energy towards these artistic movements and creating crews and stuff. And instead of battling with violence, they would battle with music and dance and creativity, right? To try and one-up each other creatively in peaceful, loving ways. And it's just so beautiful. You know, we can all learn something from that birth of hip-hop. And look how far it's spread today, right? And like I said, many people might just think of hip-hop and think of rap music. And that's a whole other topic about, you know, how big record companies and corporations can take something so beautiful and start to, you know, only select certain artists with certain messages so that they're pushing certain programs to the people. And so we might only see a very small percentage, you know, a very small market of all of the vast amount of artists that are out there, you know, making hip-hop and what it's all about as far as a culture. And KRS talks about it, you know, being about coming back to your humanity, right? What can you really do with this beautiful body, with your mind? What can you do? You know, the basic elements of hip-hop were just using whatever you had and making something new out of it, right? Like they say, life throws you lemons, you make lemonade, right? You take what you have and you start to mix it up and create your own beautiful recipe. And that's what it all is about. In this life, we're handed all the tools that we need, but we just need to realize all that we have. You know, start to realize all the beauty you have within you and start to recognize your worth. You know, don't be afraid to share something, whatever it is. It doesn't matter what people think of you. It matters what you think about yourself. Right? That's how we really start to raise our self-worth and see the gold within us. We have to be the ones. And of course it helps. It always helps to have others recognize it as well, like that story, right? His friend recognized it in him and started to bring that out of him. And that comes next. You know, it's important to surround yourself with supportive people who aren't going to put you down or make fun of you or ridicule you in your life. But it all stems from yourself. Getting to know yourself, right? Being hip to who you are and hopping in that way. And I fucking love hip hop. It's so inspiring. If people who come from nothing can make themselves a life that they love to live, and they can be so confident in themselves and so free and so creative, then really anybody in this world can. So whatever you want to do in your life, it may take some time, but you can do it. Okay? So that's all I wanted to share for today. Hope everyone has an amazing day. Keep on expressing yourself freely and find that confidence within. Peace and limitless love.